Hello, Solstice. Yeah, got a little bored today. Not much happening. Decided to go do a little live, see what happens. And I don't know what's going on with my anything here. It's like I don't know what's going wait a on. Minute. Oops, I gotta stop that. Mute that one. Yeah, everything's been acting like really slow. It's like lagging a little bit here and there. Let's see, share that out on Twitter. Or try to. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. Yeah, everybody must be online or something. So, how are you, Solstice? Uh, a little ticker announcement top. No, I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, didn't notice anything really. Hey, Nubs, what's up? Oh, 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 okay, yeah, the two-step verification. Yeah, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know. Yeah, they're trying to do a lot of things with the with YouTube and all that. Yeah, a lot of weird things happening. Oh, let's see. Let me get back to my StreamYard. Just making sure my YouTube was running. If anybody wants to come up on panel, there we go. That's the link there. Oh, thank you, Nubs. Yeah, I'm still trying to get the hang of this. Okay, can remove that one. Oh, okay, Nubs. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't doubt it. Yeah, trolls. Yeah, they're always hacking people's accounts and things like that. Yeah, like a real busy day yesterday at the office with all kinds of meetings and things. And yeah, of course, my dad insists on playing that Warpath game. I don't know who's more hardcore, me or him, right about now. but he's catching up with me in pretty much everything except I have my base is more powerful, and I've got like over 30,000 kills in the game so far, and my dad's only got 6,000. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's supposed to rain later on today, but right now it's partly cloudy. That's not too bad yet. It's just one of those days. You're starting to get that September chill up here, and I don't know. It's been a little bit windy, so I didn't really want to go out and do any kind of investigation. And the weather in New Haven can change like very quickly. But yeah, that Warpath game, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm the leader. Yeah, leader of my own alliance. I have 120 bases under my command. We have territories in 6 cities now. And then, I have over 30,000 kills. And when I started as a leader, I only had 600 kills. So I got pretty hardcore, but I'm not really the most hardcore player. There's others that have got several, over 100,000 kills. Oh yeah, ladybugs, allergies, yeah. Yeah, it's about that time. Harvest the fields. Oh, I wish I had fields to harvest. But no, not right now. Maybe in a few years I'll save up enough money to get a nice little place somewhere, like with 4 or 5 acres down south, away from Connecticut. Yeah, I'd rather be off in the woods somewhere. Yeah, and I got my game running in the background on my phone, just to keep an eye on, see what my dad is doing, because I think he's playing. And yes, I have Nightbot, and it's working. It seems to be working finally. Yeah, it looks good so far. Yeah, I didn't want to take any chances with trolls or anything, even though I do have mods. But yeah, it took me a little, one or like 2 or 3 streams to figure it out, to get all the bugs worked out. And oh yeah, fields, pastures, woods. Oh yeah, that's where I want to be. Down where there's fields, pastures, woods, rivers, and open land. And well, we do have parkland around here, but yeah, it's not the same as having your own little piece of property somewhere where you can pretty much do whatever you want, and the neighbors are at least a mile away. Yeah, that's why I really want it. I mean, I look out my back window, and about 100 yards away, maybe less. Yeah, there's like two or three houses at least. And if I went out the front door, right across the street, yeah, there's a couple more houses. Like, yeah, I don't like it like that, you know? Yeah, we actually had a pretty nice place. With probably, I think we had 2 acres in Stanford at one time. But, we decided to move around a little bit and had to go stay with my cousins for a little while. My things weren't working out at home, and my dad was always away, different places. I never knew where he was going to be or what he was doing. But for the last couple of years, he decided to retire from his work and settle down, and we kind of like ended up in New Haven, where a few of our friends already were. But Stanford, yeah, we were up in North Stanford, which was had properties that were for anywhere from 2 to 4 acres. Some were even bigger. About probably half, I say, a good half-hour drive away from the city, pretty much. But up here, yeah, I'm like probably a 15-20 minute walk away from downtown New Haven. It's a little bit too close for me. I only go downtown when I have to. But yeah, my neighborhood is actually pretty bad neighborhood. Yeah, there's been a lot of crime lately. Just a little bit south of where I live, and up north of where I live is where Yale University has a lot of mansions. It's like a whole street lined with mansions that are like, I don't even know what to do with them. I guess the professors live there. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, 30 miles away from anything. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. Oh, yeah, that two-step process. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd have a problem with it. I've got like two or three phones. Got my business phone. I got one phone that's like strictly for running apps, and one phone that kind of like kind of does most. Yeah, I use mostly the film with, but two of the phones have service, and yeah, one just has Wi-Fi. But there is an app I can download, and so I can set that phone up to make phone calls. Yeah, I wish I was about 30 miles away from everything. Sometimes, yeah, downtown New Haven, yeah, it's kind of sketchy going down there some days. You never know what you're going to see or find. I mean, one day, a couple years ago, there was like a whole like epidemic of people overdosing on K2, that synthetic, whatever it was. And over a 24-hour period, there were like over 100 I think 100 overdoses. I mean, it looked like a war zone. There was like 3 or 4 ambulances coming in every couple of minutes, taking somebody out. I mean, it was amazing. And it was sad too. Like I didn't know what was going on, and I finally asked somebody. And said, "Oh, that's just a bunch of people overdosing on K2." I mean, it was. I couldn't believe it. So, but that was. Yeah, I just couldn't believe the number of ambulances showing up, fire department, police, everything. I mean, it was going on all day. Yeah, and there was a room. Yeah, it was some kind of. It was like a real bad batch. But luckily, well, according to them, none of it had been laced with fentanyl, which would have been a lot worse. But they're still not talking about it. Even a couple years later, so nobody knows how many people died or anything really. It's just like they covered up as much of it as they could. All they said was that they did prosecute one of at least 1 or 2 dealers, but I think everyone was pretty well shocked at how many people were actually using the K2. But yeah, there's always something happening downtown. But yeah, I just go downtown, catch another bus, and go somewhere else. Go to or we got a town called Orange that we hang out in. North Haven sometimes. Sometimes we'll even go to West Haven. Or sometimes we'll go, on a road trip. Yeah, 110-mile round trip somewhere. 55 miles out, 55 miles back. Yeah, we try to do that at least once or twice a month. But today's sort of like a quiet day. I think my dad's playing Warpath, and he's supposed to be doing some work in the office. Supposed to be. Yeah, I just said I'm staying home today. Yeah, I did too much running around yesterday. Yeah, last couple days. Yeah, I've been running around. Yeah, Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot is peacefully, very quietly dropping links. Dropping the link to Team Vingman. Yeah, they're still. Yeah, we've got them working like crazy. We're having them do. I think for the rest of the week, we're going to have them do like mock investigations, and we're going to make it really difficult too. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and we will make sure of that. Especially with my cousins playing pretty nasty spirits. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I really don't blame my dad for playing the Warpath game. Yeah, sometimes I'll do it too. Oh, and yes, he's working. Yeah, he's doing something. Yeah, because since I'm the leader of my alliance, I know who's online and where they are at all times. And yes, he is currently. Yeah, let's see where. What city? Yeah, I think it's Memphis. Yeah, because we have like a world map, and we can go anywhere on the world map we want to, whatever city. So they're working on one of his bases. That's all right. He can do that. Oh yeah, that does happen. But as long as the work gets done, I don't really care. Sometimes, we'll be in like these boring business meetings, and we'll kind of be like sitting in the back of the room, just playing around a little bit. But yeah, they kind of got smart to that. So it's like some meetings, it's like, don't even think about bringing your phone in. It's like, okay. Yeah, repeat sixth grade. Oof. Yeah, I don't think yeah, I was actually a pretty good student. Most of the time, I was good. Yeah, there were a few times in high school. Yeah, yeah, but I took courses in archaeology, other things. Once I got got into college, I didn't quite make the cut for Yale. That was a little pricey, but yeah, there were other the login. Yeah, I know it's really a tough time that we're living in. It's like a lot of thing is going from in school learning to online learning. It's difficult for some people, especially some kids. The only ones that really hasn't bothered are the ones that normally do homeschooling. That doesn't really affect them that much because they're used to being at home and learning anyway. But even for the college kids up here, yeah, they're having kind of like a difficult time with it because they're. I mean, it's Yale University. We got Yale up here. I don't know. We've got probably like 4 or 5 different colleges at least. And for a while, it was like New Haven was almost like a ghost town because everybody was either learning at home or somewhere else. And very few people were on campus. But now they're starting to try to get back to normal or the new normal, whatever that is. But for a while, yeah, I mean, New Haven basically is pretty much run by Yale. They have they have a now the university. They have their own hospital. They have they even have their own police department. Oh yeah, computers. Yeah, oh yeah, they were. Oh, definitely. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were pretty much a luxury. But yeah, a lot of people are using them a lot more for business meetings, other things. Oh, even the cell phones. I don't know how many times I've done Zoom meetings on my phone. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah. But yeah, Yale, yeah, Yale University. They have their own police department. I don't know how many people they have in it, but I mean they have police plus they have their own security force. And I don't know what else they have. They have a whole bunch of other things that yeah I know nothing about. But yeah, a lot of the students actually live not far away from me. They got their own rentals. It's like a whole street filled with just yeah two family houses and things like that. I think there's one couple little apartment buildings that that are rented out most of the year by college students. Yeah, they and usually they move in with a suitcase and leave with a suitcase, and a lot of times they'll leave all kinds of furniture, electronics, everything on the sidewalk, and anybody that wants it can take it. And I kind of like yeah, I furnished my place with a lot of stuff from Yale, or yeah, the Yale students. Oh, hey, kid, how are you? Let me drop my link in case anybody wants to come up. But yeah, New Haven has a lot of history. Oh, hey, Hensley, what's up? Yeah, New Haven is like an old city. It was established in the 1600s. So we have a lot of old buildings, a lot of very old cemeteries, and a lot of them are. Oh, let's see. The stream.
Yo.
There we go. There's Kitten.
Yep.
What's up?
Nothing much. Tired. Got my shot. getting things done.
Oh, okay.
Got very awkward in the doctor's office.
Yeah, doctor's visits are.
No, I mean, when my dad asked the question of what he was talking, I was like, okay, why did you ask them that? That is very awkward.
Yeah.
But now I have to figure out the situation of my bank account, even though I can't really figure this out. If I can't
Bank.
enroll to this
I hate.
bank.
I hate bank accounts.
No, because I have to put my number, like social security number in it, and the number that he gave me, but it didn't work. But I have to call the people just saying, hey, I can't enroll my account because it's not letting me in or and stuff.
Yeah.
And this guy say, just this internet doesn't. It's very slow. Just try, when you get home, try to do it at home or like he could have just actually called the people there and then get the information and then actually
Yeah. Good
do
luck.
it.
Yeah. Good luck getting hold of somebody. It's like, do this. Press one. Do that.
Some
Press two. Press.
tales of the says
Oh,
I
press the
just have
other.
a PayPal. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I need a. My parents wants to keep an eye on the money so I don't overspend. And
Yeah. That's a good idea.
yeah, so I just want to come up and say, hey, how are you?
Oh, that's good.
Even though I have to do my chore and I don't like doing my chore.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, I got a few chores I have to do. Later.
Like what? Like what? Do dishes?
Yeah, that's one.
At least I got one right.
Yeah, things like that. I'm not in a hurry.
Well, I am because I go to work at 2.
Oh, you got to work at 2.
Well, actually, I leave around 1:30 to be
Uh-huh.
at work at 2.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so if I don't
Yeah,
get those done, then I'll
yes,
probably have to
yes,
do them tomorrow, even
yeah.
though my arm.
Since I'm the boss, I can work from home or the office. It doesn't matter. Unless we have a business meeting, then it's like, okay, I'll be in.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I'll be like, well, I'm going to go out for a little while. Then I get a phone call. It's like, we need you at the office right now. I'm like, gee,
Mhm.
yeah, it'll take me like a half hour to get there because, yeah, right now I'm like 2 or 3 towns away.
Yeah.
I got to wait for the bus, and yeah, you know how buses are.
Mhm. I swear to God, if
Sometimes
this.
they show up, sometimes they don't,
Yeah.
or sometimes they run
Yeah,
late,
we don't want them.
or sometimes there's a detour. It's like,
I swear to God, if this doesn't work, probably have to call them. Cause I swear to God, this better let me in. I pressed the wrong button number. There we go. Please, please,
oh,
please.
yeah,
What? In Spanish, hola español. Eh.
yep,
I'm,
English, Spanish.
I know Spanish.
Yeah, I know you do.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Ba-da-ba-ba. I was making more music.
Yeah, I got to start making music again.
Okay, who's messaging me now? I
Yeah,
think one of my
maybe.
jump kids.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll get things running in the studio.
But I want to call them now. Why do I have to do it over there? My friends say I'm good at speaking this, whatever accent it is or language, but I'm really good at it. It I put the wrong number. Why do I keep looking at my social
But
security
always,
number and the number?
you know, yeah, I think sometimes I think phones are like too small to work with because I'm
But
always
I'm on a computer, so I'm
like, yeah,
typing this
oh,
in.
yeah, computers are different, but sometimes I'm like on the phone and I like try to get one number or letter and I end up hitting the other one.
Really? You
or
couldn't process your request online? Please call us at that number for help. Oh my God, I don't. I just want to go check in my bank account. But I'll do that whenever I go to class tomorrow. Wait.
What?
Oh, she
Uh-oh.
said tomorrow is the Y, but what's today? Oh, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, yeah, because Wednesday is. We go to the YMCA. Well, mostly it's depending if you want to walk on the trail or work out.
Aha.
And I did work out. That I'm losing weight. Need to gain weight, so my
Yep.
fingernails are always hitting extra things when I try to text and edit my video stories on Google Drive. I don't have long nails. When people have the habit to like chew on your fingernails, the that's what I do. It's just the habit. I can't really stop doing those. I need to start doing
Yeah,
dishes because it's already
I'm always saying
1:03.
the wrong things.
David,
Huh?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always juggling money and things, and yeah. But my dad, he keeps track of some of the money. 'Cause, everybody has to get paid. Sometimes I have to contribute a little bit. Oh yeah, yeah. One of my friends, he lost all his teeth. But he had a lot of problems, and he actually developed a pretty bad intestinal infection because of it. And yeah, he had to get them all removed. But yeah, he does have he does have dentures, but he never he never wears them. But yeah, he was thinking about getting the dental implants, but I don't know if he's going to do it or not. But it's an option. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I do overspend a little bit, but then again, I have so many projects and things I'm trying to do, and I'm always out looking for equipment, both for the paranormal and also for my music studio. But lately, I've been pretty good about it. But I think, the one pretty big setback was when I had to spend quite a bit of money to have my laptop repaired. And let's see what else. What else did I? And then there was that guitar I needed, and microphones, and a couple other things. Nightbot is still dropping links. Yeah, yeah, I do have merch, even though I don't. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I don't even promote my own channel sometimes. So yeah, night computer bought porn and then. Yeah, I got my laptop for like a little over 300, because it had like DVD and all this other stuff built into it, and it cost me. All right, Second Star, how are you today? I got my laptop for a little over $300, and then the hard drive crashed less than a year later, and well, actually no, a little over a year, I think. Ended up spending another 300 and something dollars just to get the hard drive replaced, and it would have been a lot more if I sent the crashed hard drive to have them recover the data. That would have been that would have been about another $1,000. I was like, no. Yeah, I think my dad knows somebody somewhere that could probably break into the hard drive for like almost nothing, probably for free. I still have the hard drive somewhere. Yeah, right now it's just paperweight. I at least wanted to try to see if it could recover anything, because I had one video that I was, almost done editing, a very good paranormal investigation. And it would have been it was a real good one. I had great responses on the necrophonic and the K2 meter. But yeah, I'm not going to spend $1,000 to get see if they could get the kit out of the hard drive. Not yet. Maybe in a couple years, when the technology improves a little bit. Oh yeah, some computers are just money pits. Yeah, sometimes they do have come with bad hard drives and bad cards, all that. And I think my hard drive was glitchy anyway, and didn't always seem to run smooth. Yeah, some game. Yeah, I tried to play some games on it, and the games would crash for no reason. But yeah, since I got the new hard drive, everything seems to be working pretty much anyway. But eventually, I will build my own computer. Hey, what's up, Pinky? How are you? Yeah, lemon. Yeah, lemon. Yep, there's lemons in almost everything. Yeah, I'm doing good, Pinky. Yeah, I just decided to go live for a little bit. Everything seems to be working. God, Nightbot hasn't given me a problem. Hasn't gone after anybody, which is cool. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I am talking to myself a little bit. Kitten is somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if I'm talking to myself or not. Well, people will come in later and watch it, I think. Because I do, yeah, on my last few streams, I've gotten like 40, 50 views, which isn't bad. All right, Pinky. Oh, there's like at least two or three people here. Oh, four. One, yeah, one. Yeah, I want to get an older computer because there's one game I want to play and I can't play it on the Windows 10. I need it. Yeah, I really want to get like an old Windows XP computer. There's like a couple games that I used to play when I had an XP a couple years ago. Hey, Minnie Nukin, how are you, Minnie Nukin? All right. Okay, what is going on? Wow, my YouTube is lagging. I don't know why. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Kitten. She said she'd be right back, unless she's just listening. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of like working from home today, but there's not much happening. Yeah, we had a couple business meetings yesterday. Tuesday's actually kind of an off day for everybody. Yeah, yeah. I didn't even have lunch yet. Yeah, I might make a pizza later. I don't know. Hey, Vale, how are you? Yeah, I don't know what happened to Kitten. She was here downloading coffee. Yeah, I had just had a big cup of coffee. Yeah, I might get more. Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. God, yeah, I got so many security protocol set. I have actually I have a service that checks out all our computer equipment. I think once or twice a month. Yeah, they call me up, say yeah they want to check out my computer, and yeah I let them in to do it, and they do whatever. Take care of all the security settings and clean it up, make sure it's working right. Yeah, I didn't even want to get up today. Like, nah, it's kind of one of those weird days. It's not really cloudy, but it's not sunny. It's like it could go either way pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm doing good, Vale. And yeah, I have a night bot. And so far, it hasn't blown up anything. Oh, yeah, raining? Yeah, that's really. Yeah, it's supposed to rain up here a little later. Yeah, it's that. Plus, it's like it's starting to get that September chill, and it's a little bit breezy out there. It's like, I really don't want to go out in it unless I have to. Yeah, now it's starting to get a little bit darker out. But let's see. Just drop my link in case anybody else wants to come up. Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at this. I figured out how to drop links, and I figured out how to set up Nightbot. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that, Val. Yeah, I kind of like. Yeah, I saw what was happening there, and it's like, okay, how do I prevent that here? And yeah, I programmed it. I think I did anyway. It hasn't complained. That's just dropping links and things like that, and not bothering anybody. But it did take me, I think two or three streams to get everything working right. All right. Oh yeah. 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 Everybody. Yeah. Everybody's down south of me now, except Pinky. Out in the boondocks. Yeah, I wish it was out in the boondocks. And I really don't like New Haven too much, but yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of archaeological work here, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. You travel around a lot, Vale. Went out to Ohio, and then he went down to North Carolina. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, that was a surprise. Yeah, so now Beth has somebody to go investigating with. The South Cats, even. Yeah, yeah, you're all, yeah, North Carolina, South Carolina area. Yeah, I'm out in Connecticut, and there's like one or two. I think there's only like one or two investigators around here. Oh yeah, well, not yet. Yeah, you'll run into them eventually. Oh yeah, God, yeah, Hawk and Brenda. Yeah, there's like one investigator. He's like all over Connecticut. Yeah, I talk to him once in a while, but so far he hasn't been down in my area, or if he has, he hasn't said anything about it. Yeah, we pretty much got the run of New Haven to ourselves. We got all the cemeteries. Not too many abandoned buildings yet, but they're starting to do a lot of building now, especially Yale. Oh, Three Souls. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, Nuckenfutz. Yeah, I remember when she came up with that name. Yep. Yeah, Nuckenfutz. Yep, I remember. Yeah, I remember when she came. Yeah, she did that. Oh yeah, Nuken. Yeah, Nucken is. Yeah, she is awesome. Oh, okay. Ah, all right. Dating her son. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I got my game running in the background making noise. So turn the volume down. Yeah, where am I? Hmm. Oh yeah, the Bel Air house. Yeah, we don't really have too many big haunted houses close by where we are. Not that I know of, but yeah, there are a couple buildings downtown New Haven that are supposedly haunted, but there's like one paranormal group that does tours occasionally. I think they will be doing a tour pretty soon, but it's a lot of walking. But yeah, I might this year if they do the tour, I might tag along with them and see if I can get permission to do an investigation. Yeah, I'd love to go down into the older parts of Yale University. Down in there, they have like a tunnel network and all kinds of things like that. And a lot of their buildings are pretty old. Some are like from like at least 1800s. I think yeah, one of these days, yeah, I'll do a video show you some of the Yale properties. There's not too many old abandoned buildings here. I think there's like one or two churches that were kind of abandoned. Nobody's really done anything with those yet, but yeah, we have a lot of cemeteries that people have not done investigations in, like that Westville Cemetery I went to for my first official investigation. When they got when everybody, yeah, I got all those responses on the necrophonic. That was incredible. Yeah, local. Yeah. There's not too much war here either. Very few ghost stories, except for the New Haven Green, which is probably one of the largest unmarked cemeteries in New Haven. The Yeah, the state archaeologist doesn't even have a clue how many bodies there are. But they said the one reason they closed down the cemetery was that it was overcrowded. They used up every possible space they could. And why they turned it into a park, I don't know. But it's like really suspicious. But yeah, 10,000, at least 10,000 unmarked graves right on the New Haven Green. Yeah, not only did was it overcrowded, the lot of lot of burials were done like in the middle of the night, and they were buried kind of shallow. They estimate that a lot of the graves are probably only 2 or 3 feet deep at the most. And one time, when Hurricane Sandy hit up here, knocked over one of the trees in the New Haven Green, and there were like three skeletons that were tangled in the roots. So the graves were, yeah, they were really shallow. Yeah, well, this was like a really old cemetery. Well, it was technically a graveyard since there's like three churches that are like on the edge of it. But yeah, the cemetery was opened up, and I think it was the original burying ground, and they shut it down in like the 1800s, and the next thing you know, they took down all the walls that surrounded it, and they moved all the gravestones uh, to another cemetery and propped them up against the back wall of the cemetery, and I don't know why. Yeah, nobody's saying anything. And it's and then Upper New Haven Green, they don't use it for anything really. It's just there. They could have left it as a cemetery and still had plenty of room on the lower green. But for some reason they said no, we're going to turn it into a park. Yep. Oh yeah. And yeah, and there's like rumors that there are tunnels all under the green too. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, I'm sure they were running into bodies and coffins and skeletons and things when they were making the tunnels. All right, later, Pinky. But the New Haven Green, it's pretty haunted, but the spirits there kind of like don't really bother anybody. They're pretty quiet most of the time. There's people like walking all over them on a daily basis. Sometimes I see police cars parked out in the middle there, and it's like, gee, do you guys really want to be parked in the middle of a cemetery on top of a grave? Oh, hello, Christina. How are you? Yeah, I'm surprised nothing. Yeah, there hasn't really been any major paranormal activity on the green. I mean, there are occasional spirit sightings, but for some reason, it's just the quiet. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm doing little or nothing today. Yesterday was pretty busy. Had a couple major meetings I had to attend, and yeah, I just want to unwind a little bit. We were supposed to do something over the weekend, but yeah, our plans changed at the last minute. So, yeah, something happened somewhere. And next week, yeah, I don't even know what we're doing next week or next weekend. Yeah, I have no clue what we're doing. But yeah, we will be doing investigations for a little. Yeah, doing a few more investigations, and probably in a couple more weeks, we are going to start doing our archaeological work, and we're getting geared up with that. Yeah, we got most of the equipment we need. Yeah, we're going to have all kinds of different, yeah, all kinds of equipment we're going to be using for our archaeological work. We got special cameras. We even have endoscopic cameras. There's actually a couple areas that we want to check out. That the cameras are actually going to come in handy. The one endoscope camera we have, Wi-Fi compatible. So yeah, we will be using that one quite a bit. Yeah, I've got a brand new Sony digital camera. I've got night vision cameras. I don't know what else I have. A lot of stuff. Yeah, I sure could use another cup of coffee. I don't know. It's just one of those days. Yeah, it's what. Yeah, it's looks like it could rain any minute. They say it's supposed to rain later today and tomorrow. That's 2 days. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing too much, or try not to do that much. Yeah, I might actually. Yeah, I might actually play guitar tomorrow. Oh, the portal. Yeah, I think I got that app too. But mostly, yeah, I use the Necrophonic. But I have all the Chill Seekers apps spread out between, I think, all three of my phones. Yeah, even my business phone has. Yeah, what does it have on it? Let's see, I got Necrophonic, I got Sweep, Ghost, something.
Sweep Ghost Box
Sweep.
activated.
Yeah, Sweep Ghost Box. That's another Chill Seekers app. Yeah, I just had to turn it on for a second and see what it was. And I have Signal, which is another Chill Seekers app. And I got an app called VBE Geo Says. It's kind of like a Simon Says. And last time I used it, every time I wasn't watching it, some spirit would actually play with it. Yeah, I'd look away for a minute and it start beeping on its own. And sometimes, yeah, spirits will talk to themselves back and forth. And yeah, I've actually been on panels where everybody turned on their necrophonic at the same time. And I think one time my necrophonic would start talking, and then one of theirs would start talking, and it like they were just talking back and forth, and they never spoke at the same time. So it's some kind of communication was happening. I think one of these days, I'll do that again. Yeah, well, yeah, that my business phone. Yeah, it's got necrophonic. Yeah, I'm not sure about my other phones. I know I got quite a few apps. But I think so far I've had the most success with the necrophonic, especially in one cemetery. Yeah, cemetery I go to, where I did my first investigation. The spirits have kind of gotten used to it. But the first time I was there, yeah, some of the spirits were kind of nervous because they didn't know what I was doing there and what that thing was that was making all that noise. But luckily, it's a cemetery that's still in use, so some of the newer spirits were saying, don't worry about it, basically. But it's kind of funny when you get a mixture of spirits. There's some that been there for a long time, like 100 and something years, and you have ones that were buried, died within the last few years that are there. And then you have the wandering spirits that seem to show up on everybody's during everybody's necrophonic session. I swear there's that one that's traveled from New Haven to Ohio to North Carolina. And last time I checked, I think I heard it back in Ohio. And sometimes it will come back and see me. Yeah, I don't know where that spirit is now. Oh, good. Got the pod fixed. Yeah, I've got two homemade REM pods. They're like the same type that Hensley has now. I use those. I have a few other different detectors. One detects motion, and one detects vibrations. And sometimes I get some EVPs. They use the carrier wave, but they're not actually coming from the necrophonic. they're kind of like overlapping, which is weird to hear sometimes. But some are like, loud EVPs too. Yeah, sometimes they do it. Yeah, I know I know there's a reason that they have some of them talk backwards. But if it's in reverse and you hear something forward, then it could be an actual spirit talking. but but yeah, mostly I use I do use stick with the necrophonic. But there's a few other apps I might use once I get more comfortable using them. But there's one. I forgot what app it was. That came before necrophonic, and it works pretty good too. Yeah, what one was that? Oh, Spiritus. Yeah, that's another Chill Seekers app. Yeah, that app works very good. But I don't know. Oh yeah, of course they have Dead Wave, which is another app I use. But yeah, Necrophonic is like this easiest app to use. Some of the others, they're like really, really complicated. Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, that is one of the best apps to use. Yeah, I don't even know how much I spent on apps. But yeah, I at least wanted to check other apps out since I have like two or three different phones. I can run Necrophonic on one phone and run Spiritus or one of the other apps on another phone. But that one Simon Says app, I'm going to use that. Yeah, I'm going to. I think on my next. My next investigation, the spirits will play with it. I was kind of surprised. But yeah, I did one investigation with the haunted lava lamp. Had the app running, and every time I looked away, a spirit would like tap on it, cause it to beep. It happened quite a few times. Yeah, every time I looked away, it'd start beeping. Never when I looked at it. If I looked at it, forget about it. As long as I wasn't looking at it, yeah, it would work. But there's like, yeah, one cemetery that we have to go back to. Yeah, we only covered like maybe probably not even a third of it. There are a couple areas that are like really interesting. We'll probably do that next week. It's like one of the cemeteries. I'm not sure about being out there alone. Yeah, I've been out there alone, I think, once. But there's certain parts of it that feel a little bit off, a little bit weird. So I'm gonna have either my dad or my friend Ancient run security. Sometimes I'll do that. Like my first cemetery investigation, I had my friend Ancient out there with me. And the spirits, first thing they did was call him out. I kept called his name a few times, like uh-oh. But it's a big cemetery, 85 acres, and we only covered part of it. And there's a couple cemeteries almost as big. They got to be at least 50, 60 acres that we haven't even gone to yet. And there's I just found two more up in West Haven, which is a couple miles away. That look really interesting. And it's a nice, easy bus ride. And there's one park we still have to go back to up in West Haven. That's some archaeological stuff we have to check out. And I'm definitely bringing an endoscopic camera with me. I have a feeling there's something buried in that area. Not sure what. These people, this ancient race of stone builders, they migrated down the coast and ended up in South America, I think. But they set up little colonies here, and they do building, and sometimes they would build these stone chambers. So we are going to see if there's one where I think there's going to be one, and hopefully we can find a little find a loose stone and send the camera in and see if there's anything in there. And there's one giant burial vault down in Stamford, Connecticut. It's ancient burial, probably a few thousand years old. And we're going to try to see if we can find a place where we can stick a camera in. Oh yeah, New Haven has graves that go back all the way back to the 1600s. And one cemetery, Grove Street Cemetery, it opened up in probably like the mid 1600s. maybe a little bit later. I know some graves were moved. A few graves were moved from to New Haven Green into that cemetery that dated from the early 1600s, and it's still an active cemetery. I mean, you have headstones from like early 16, 1700s next to brand new ones. It's like, yeah, one of the cemeteries that isn't overcrowded yet. Oh yeah, there's a lot of indigenous burials we found, and some burials that were made by this stone, yeah, stone carving seafaring culture. We found quite a few of their burials too. But a lot of them, yeah, a lot of them cremated their dead. They practiced rituals that were practiced in Ireland, in Scotland, and other places. But they were all over the place. And there's actual remnants of their language that are mixed in with certain native dialects. There's certain words that are certain native words that are almost nearly identical to words from the ancient Scottish, Irish language. Even some of the native place names, they can be traced back to this ancient language too. Oh yeah, yeah. Spirits sometimes don't like change. You like things to stay one way. Yeah, they probably are angry. A lot of people, when they do things, they don't ask the permission of the spirits. Like whenever we go into an area to do like a document an archaeological site, we always ask permission. Before we touch anything, we ask permission. Always. There's a couple sites that are very paranormally active that if you don't ask permission, things are going to start flying. And some spirits are in areas that have what we call magnetic anomalies that are either positive or negative, and these spirits draw energy from these areas, and you don't want to mess with them. You really don't. They've been there long enough that they develop their own abilities, and they will actually are able to pick up large stones and throw them at you. Yeah, we've seen it happen. Usually, they're like warning shots. But there's one area in the Hudson Valley that we like to go to, where the spirits are actually levitating stones and throwing them at houses and people and all kinds of things. I think it's up in Hudson Valley. We heard about it like a couple years ago. It's supposed to be very active, and I think it's right near a magnetic anomaly. For a while, big rocks were being thrown at people's houses, hitting the roofs and cars and other things. I think one person went up to investigate and got his leg broke. He actually watched a stone levitate off the ground and just hit him in the leg. Oh yeah, spirits can kill, especially warrior spirits. And it's one culture we've studied for years. They usually bury their best warriors on a sacred site, and those warriors were very hostile, especially if you could sense them. And yeah, my friend Ancient, he could sense that they were there. And their graves would be very difficult to find. And if you were entering an area where they were protecting, they had these triangle-shaped stones. They were like warning markers. And one corner would be broken off the stone. So it'd be like an incomplete triangle. And if you found one of these stones, if you ever in the woods and you find one of these stones, be very careful. That means there's one of them. One of them is buried in that area, probably not far away from that stone. And things could get hostile. Yeah, very hostile very quickly. But the only way to really stop them from bothering you, especially if you get chased out once, is to go back and face them. They respect anyone that has anyone else that's like a warrior, has a warrior spirit. They'll respect that person. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, they do like to be Yeah, that does happen. Solstice. Yeah, some spirits really don't care if their artifacts, their bones, even are exhibited. They're perfectly happy about it. They'd rather have people know about their existence than not. I mean, there's a museum around here, the Peabody Museum. It has it has an Egyptian mummy that seems perfectly content where it is. The spirit, is very quiet, and there's an Egyptian woman that was buried slightly differently. She's been on display for quite a while and never had any problems. But the spirits that are there are pretty quiet. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, when you got your leg broke, second story. Yeah, yeah. Spirits can become solid. You still they might be invisible, but they have enough energy that they can become solid enough to cause a lot of problems. Especially that one spirit that attacked me once. He became solid, a full body apparition, just long enough to hit me in the throat and disappeared. But yeah, before we go exploring in a certain area, we will check the maps. They have special maps that pinpoint all the magnetic anomalies and stuff. I think there's actually quite a few maps like that now. And if it's in the red, if we're going to an area that has it's in the red zone. Yeah, we know to be very careful. Yeah, some spirits will be angry, but they'll be quiet. They won't throw things at people. So they're more upset. So like passive aggressive, they won't really attack unless you provoke them. Some have very short fuses, and you were walk into that place and try to provoke one. Oh no! But in a lot of places we've been into as well, yeah, as long as we kind of like stated our intentions that we were only going into these areas to photograph these sites, to document their existence, we were fine. There's a couple places that we've done in our going into the document these sites. They were under the threat of development, so we were kind of like said, look, if we don't document these sites, somebody's going to come in with a bulldozer and wipe everything out. After a while, they kind of got the hint. It's like, But the one area we're going to be doing a lot of exploring in, it's a 1,600-acre park. It's had a lot of archaeological surveys done, but these archaeologists were not trained like we were to investigate these sites. And there's a lot of things that we're going to document that we can compare to other sites we found in other parts of New England that are linked to sites, nearly identical sites over in the UK. And we do work with a few archaeologists over in England, Ireland, Scotland, and places like that have toured some of our sites. And they were kind of amazed at the same type of architecture and stone carving that was nearly identical to a lot of their sites. But until now, we didn't really know how widespread they actually were with their settlements and their colonization. They were over here mining for iron ore, and actually, some people were even taking wood back to places where they pretty much didn't have wood anymore. Europe, they used up a lot of their natural resources and had to go out looking for more. And some seafaring cultures became really advanced, like the Minoans, the Hittites, and even the Egyptians to an extent, but they kind of just came along for the ride. But even the Vikings, once Greenland started freezing up on them, they could have gone back to their own countries, but every piece of land was pretty much owned. A lot of their own resources had been exhausted, so they decided to try settling in America for a while. It worked for a little while, but after a time, their colonies became extinct. But even Romans were here, but they really didn't do that much. But the Minoans and Hittites seem to be the most active earlier on, and later, after their empire fell, I think they did come back and establish, retake some of their land. But something happened to them too. They just suddenly stopped building. They had a lot of stonework that was never completed. And later on, I think the last group to sneak over here was a colony of Egyptians. And they kind of interbred with the local natives and kind of blended in with them. But they were serpent work. Yeah, they worshipped serpents. Everything in their culture was serpent related, either serpent or pretty much, yeah. They made these stone structures that looked like the eye of a serpent. Their walls were serpentine in appearance. And there was another culture that was a lot of their stonework was bird related. And they were pretty much further in southern Connecticut, mostly southeastern, down around Stamford, Greenwich. And a lot of their stonework was bird related. And then you find sort of a mixture of the cultures down in Central and South America, where I think the two came together. A lot of the stonework was serpents and bird. And some of these cultures, some were Minoan. Some of the later ones were kind of had the Egyptian stone building influence. And nobody really knows who built Stonehenge, but a lot of that technology ended up in New England. The same kind of stone carving work, similar languages. They actually had a lot, covered a lot of territory. And we actually have our own Solar Observatory. It's almost as advanced as Stonehenge, but it's smaller. It's very smaller, a lot more compact. And that's one site was studied for probably about 10 years. Yeah, we have about 10 years worth of research on that one site. And eventually we're going to go back to it and do some more research. But we found a couple similar astronomical sites. I think within the last couple of years, there were like 2 or 3 other sites that were discovered that had something to do with solar or astronomical. But we just haven't got around to studying those yet. But up in New Haven, I think within the last 2 years, we found similar sites up here in New Haven. So it's all going to be that Heptat, and there's one native tribe that had the name of Haman Aset, and the H was more of an Egyptian pronunciation more than it was a letter in the alphabet. So you cut off the H, and you're left with Amun, which was one of the chief deities of Egypt. And then you have Set, which was another one. But this one group called themselves Hamanaset, which was very suspicious, and they had certain rituals. And there's one site, oh God, it's got to be I think only a few miles away from here that, we have to backtrack and see if we can find it again, where they actually performed some ritual of coming out of an egg. They had these like stone circles that weren't very big, where they would perform this ritual. Yeah, I have to check with there's another organization that knows exactly where these sites are. So we just have to get back in touch with them and see if they're going to do any more investigations at these sites and see if we can go back there and document them. Yeah, now that we live in the area where they were. But yeah, they're very, very suspicious tribe. I mean, they did build serpentine stone walls. I mean, they actually had the head of a serpent on them, and they would go down to the point of a tail. They built stone structures that looked kind of like a serpent eye. I mean, they were beautiful, but you could see the influence, and they were up at between here, New Haven, and up towards Groton. I think Groton was Connecticut was a big area. We've actually been to a few of the sites that were found up there. But you can definitely see that Egyptian influence in their stonework. And a lot of the pyramid building, I mean, pyramids were actually started. They started building pyramids up in Russia. They were in Australia. I think off the coast of Australia, there's a couple sunken pyramids that were found. Egypt, and I think parts of the United States. I think they found a couple sites that they thought could be pyramids, and then it starts building up again in Central and South America. But even I think in Sarajevo they found like 2 or 3 pyramids that they've been trying to study, but it's kind of like kind of not easy to do because there were a lot of mines that were placed there, so it's kind of dangerous to do any kind of really significant archaeological work without coming across a landmine. Because we were talking to some of their archaeologists over there about their investigating their sites. We're like, no, it's kind of dangerous over in that area. Oh yeah, absolutely. Most cultures, even the even the Chinese, they had boats that you would not believe that were like 3 times the size of anything that Columbus had. You could actually put the Nina Pinta and Santa Maria in them. And Minoans, they had incredible ships that were capable of carrying several tons of iron ore. And a few of those ships were actually discovered sunk in somewhere. Even probably less than I don't know how long. I think either like 40, 50 years before Columbus even set sail, there were ships that were supposedly from England that were supposedly going to China, but they ended up in bringing back stuff that was found only in New England. So they already had knowledge of America. They would, come over to New England and trade with a lot of the local tribes. And they were bringing back wood and other things that could only be found here. And one organization that we work with, they did actually find some of the ship's logs. They just go missing for a while and then suddenly come back with all its exotic wood. And none of it could be found in China or any of the countries they were supposedly going into. Yeah, I got to see if I can get that information again. We used to have it somewhere, but they have really documented this. The logs of one sea captain. I'm not sure what his name was, but yeah, he was bringing back nothing that came from China, and so it's kind of their secret for a long time. Then Spain started going out and doing their own stuff. And so I think that's when a lot of the colonies were started. Yeah, England decided to get into the colonization business. But yeah, there were quite a few ancient sea cultures. We call them the Sea Kings. They were like the Minoans, the Hittites, and a few other related cultures. They all seemed to work together, and the trade was extensive. I mean, they'd come over to America, mine the iron ore, and it would end up in Egypt. It would end up in Scotland. It would end up in some of it ended up in Ireland. I mean, it was pretty much everywhere. And there were actually a few native tribes that said, "Yeah, we came from overseas." And there were a couple that were already here, a long time ago. Even Africa, they had their own fleet of ships at one time. And there was probably a African colony that they think was established in somewhere down south that ended up staying. But there were colonies from pretty much every country. Even China set up a colony in California that pretty much broke off on their own. They introduced a lot of certain technologies, and nobody really knows where the bow and arrow came from. I mean, it was everywhere else, and suddenly it appeared in America. Even certain types of dart throwers that were found in Australia ended up being used by a lot of cultures in America. Even a boomerang, that's supposedly Australian, but there was another couple cultures here that had the boomerang, and they've never been able to explain how. There's certain South American cultures, a lot of they never really developed metallurgy, but some cultures in North America developed metalwork. Yeah, they had their own metal tools that were pre-colonial. Minoans, they had their metallurgy was pretty advanced too. They had drill bits that could actually be used to break stone. Very solid. I'm not sure what the type of metal was, but they were triangle shaped drill bits. There were hammer drills. And Yeah, we've actually found in a lot of these sites we've investigated, we found the triangle-shaped hammer drill marks, but we've never been able to find one of their drill bits. But it had to be something more solid than copper. It had to be kind of a mixture of some kind of iron and something else. Maybe a form of steel, because they were solid enough to use on pink granite, which is a very solid stone, and you need very solid metals to work with it. Some of these cultures were they worked with obsidian, flint, and quartz. I mean, some of the stone, some of the arrowhead, some this one culture they had stone, yeah, quartz arrowheads and other artifacts. So they're and quartz, yeah, that's another hard material to work with. Not as easy as flint, but they were actually able to do that type of intricate work with the quartz. Oh yeah, oh yeah, the Polynesians, they were everywhere. They were, yeah, probably one of the most ancient, one of the more ancient sea cultures. Yeah, they just travel around the world in hollowed out tree trunks. Yeah, they went all over the place. Polynesia, Hawaii, and I think they were probably around in China too. And even Native Americans, they had their own ships. I'm not sure how advanced they were, but there was evidence of Native American cultures sailing or traveling to England, Ireland, and other places before colonial times. So that there was something going on. There was no such thing as an isolationist culture. A lot of different cultures influenced others, and I think the Egyptians they introduced corn to Central and South America, or vice versa. I don't know which happened first. I think the Egyptians took corn back, a form of corn, back to Egypt, because after a certain period of time, corn and other similar South American things started showing up in a lot of their artwork. Oh yeah, Hindus, yeah, yeah. Even they travel around, and their technology. Yeah, ancient India, if you believe the Vedas and a lot of that stuff, their technology was very advanced. A lot of their ancient writings tell of very advanced, not only seafaring technology, but some kind of aircraft. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Some of that technology was incredible. Some of the stone carving, that even the moving of stones. There's some stones that are huge that weighed several thousand tons, not just a few hundred tons. But if you look at a lot of the stonework, Central South America, we still have nothing that could move any of those stones. Nothing. There's nothing, no crane big enough that could move any of those stones. And they were stacking these stones several feet high. I mean, a couple hundred feet. In some cases. Oh yeah, there was a lot of immigration and people moving around. I mean, you find technology, yeah, like even like the bow and arrow. That's a worldwide technology. Uh, Boomerang. That's another technology that was used. Uh, Even the spear throwers. They were like short darts, and yeah, you throw them with a longer stick. That technology's everywhere. Yep, potatoes for corn. Yeah, potatoes. Yeah, potatoes and corn. That ended up everywhere. Oh, even grapes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. One of the cultures would come over here and make wine from the native grapes. They had their own vineyard set up. We've actually found places where they would make the wine. And there's certain place names that said, "Oh yeah, we make wine here." It's pretty amusing to see some of that in in the some of the place names. Yeah, we make the wine here. We get drunk here. Things, all kinds of things like that. And even yeah, in Stamford and Greenwich, we found places where they made, yeah, did a lot of stonework. They did built balanced dolmen, standing stone. God, we got so many standing stones in New England. It's amazing. Just as many. There's just as many sites in New England as there are in Ireland, Scotland, England. I mean, even in Florida, they found sites that were very similar to Stonehenge. I mean, there were colonies everywhere. I don't think there's not a culture that hasn't been somewhere else where they weren't supposed to be. And I think pretty much every single known language has been found in New England. I mean, you have the ancient Ogam, you have Egyptian, hieroglyphic, you have some of the couple of the ancient Jewish languages in America. You have the Viking language that's been found. That was found as far west as Mississippi. The Yeah, the runic language that's been found everywhere. and people are still finding examples of those ancient written languages. And they even think the Egyptians were out in all the way out west. Death Valley and places like that. Oh, absolutely. Pemmican. Yep. That's another thing that ended up being pretty much in a lot of different places. And gods as dark as night. Yep. There were some African tribes that sailed all over the place. I forgot what they were called, but they were very advanced. They ended up in Ireland too. They were in Ireland. They were in America. A lot of different places. I think they even made it as far down as Central and South America. But they did end up in Ireland, and but they started out in some part of Africa. I forgot which part, but they sailed around the world too. I think even even like 1,500 years before Columbus, were Chinese had their larger sailing ships. 3,200 BC, around there, the Minoans and Hittites were sailing around the world, and probably 1400s, the Basques were fishing off the New England coastline. We found a lot of their some of their burial sites. Of course, the Vikings, they were more recent. They had a few colonies in New England. I think one of the earlier colonies was Rhode Island, and a lot of native tribes say, "Oh yeah, we saw the Vikings. Yeah, we saw them come up the river and we chased them back down the river." But they said, yeah, they encountered an earlier culture, probably around 3,200 BC, that were very uh, they had very light skin, blue eyes, red hair, and you see these people all over the place. Even in China, they found those mummies. I'm not sure when they were what century they were dated to, but they had the blue eyes, the light skin. They're probably a little bit taller than, and these people were kind of more friendlier than the Vikings. But the natives kind of allowed them to stay in certain areas and go to certain sacred mountains. and they actually taught the natives a lot of different things, and yeah, even 1700s, some natives would actually build their own stone walls, and they were actually building stone walls for the colonists at one point. But their stonework was more loose fitting stones. Their stone walls, you could tell the difference between their stone wall and the colonial, because their stone walls had spaces in between them, because they did not believe in obstructing the wind. They wanted the wind to be able to go through these walls. And we found a lot of examples of their stonework too. Yeah, we'd be out in the middle of nowhere, and we'd find these stone walls that had the gaps in between them. We knew they weren't colonial. The stone, simply because the stones were a lot bigger than anything a colonial farmer would want to move. And if you did aerial surveys, these stone walls would actually form ancient letters of certain alphabets. I'm not sure which alphabet, but it was a recognized alphabet somewhere. But there were we call them the stone chambers. They were almost always misidentified as root cellars. But the technology was a lot more advanced than anything in colonial times. The ceiling slabs weighed probably about 1,500 pounds at least, and they would be fit so tightly together that you couldn't fit any measuring device in between the slabs. And I think the ceiling slabs would be made out of one type of stone, and the walls would be out of a totally different type of stone. But they were found all over New England. And of course, one culture, they built them like the eyes of serpents, and some of the other cultures did them slightly differently. Some of them we do know now had hidden burial chambers. Because we did actually find one that was in the process of being built down in I think Greenwich, Connecticut. They had just started working on the walls. They hadn't put the ceiling slabs in yet, but they were in the process of carving them. But apparently something happened at this one site. They never completed this site, but they had the burial chamber partially constructed. But I think whoever they were building the chamber for. All right, Second Star. See you later. But they never completed this chamber because, when we found the site, something had apparently happened to whoever wanted the chamber built. It was supposed to be like a burial chamber with like an outer area that was supposed to face the sun and be illuminated at a certain time of the year, either summer solstice, winter equinox. We're not sure exactly when the sun was supposed to. No, I think it was an autumn equinox site. but the chamber was going to be in this one spot, and they just started doing the work on it. They had the floor slabs in place. They were just starting to work on the walls, but it was never completed. And we started looking around, and behind this chamber site was like a little kind of depression. It was kind of like a little valley. Oh, in there. Oh, yeah. They killed whoever they were building the chamber for. They buried him under a pile of rocks that looked like a chamber, but it was in an area where the sun would never hit it. Like this person, apparently hated this person so much, they buried him right under this pile of stones that were supposed going to be the walls of the chamber. Not only that, but they killed a few other people, as they had these memorial markers where these people fell. So whatever happened violently in this to this one colony that were in, I think, Stamford and Greenwich area. Something bad happened to them. There's some kind of revolt. But that's one site. Yeah, we are going to go back to probably next spring or summer. It was pretty amazing seeing this. And yeah, we do have some pictures of it. But there were probably 2 or 3 other unfinished stone chambers. They were going to build them, but something happened, and these people apparently got wiped out. All their stone carvings stopped. They had a lot of projects that were left totally unfinished. So it's more of a recent group. They were probably related to the Minoans, but they were a little bit more modern. But this one person, yeah, he did want a chamber built as his resting place, and they never completed it. We figured it out right away. It was like, wait a minute. We kind of like, after looking at the site for a while, we kind of like, well, this is where he was supposed to be buried, but no, they buried him down there over the hill. So there are a lot of chambers that were completed that do have these burial vaults, but even the stones in the walls were so tightly put together that yeah, you can't fit anything in between any of the stones. But I think there's probably one passage grave that is in upper somewhere not far away from here that we're going to try to see if we can go to. I mean, it looks exactly like it's the type of passage grave that you'd find in Ireland. I mean, nearly identical. But it's one of those oddball sites. We don't know why it was built where it was, but it's definitely something that should not be in anywhere in New England. But yeah, we do find oddball sites that are like, wait a minute, why is this site here? Why were these people here? They're supposed to be over in England, Ireland, places like that, but no, they're here. But that one site was kind of funny. But we kind of figured out pretty quickly what happened at that one site. I mean, because whenever one of their own people fell or died in battle or something, they would make these little stone mounds. And yeah, we found like, I think probably like over a dozen of them in this one area around this unfinished stone chamber. So yeah, something bad happened. They wanted to make sure it was documented, but nobody. Yeah, nobody. After that happened, nobody wanted to finish that chamber. They just left it as it was. I mean, it would have been a nice chamber too. But yeah, we did find out. We did see where they were starting to make the roof slabs, the ceiling stones. They had somewhat complete, but they just hadn't moved them yet. There's some stones that they were going to move that we really don't know what they were going to do with them. But the most fascinating site was the Solar Observatory, and if you it was composed of 13 stone slabs. They were all balanced, and one slab, I think one of the ceiling slabs of this observatory was actually looked like a man with horns on his head looking up at the sky. And it dates back, I don't even know how long ago. I mean, before the Vikings, there's this other mysterious sea culture that were similar. I think the Vikings kind of copied them, or probably might have even been descended from these people. But it does, I mean, look almost like the head of a Viking on top of this solar observatory. I mean, they were perfectly placed, balanced. And the interior of the observatory is illuminated only on one day of the year. And that is like right when the sun is at its lowest point in the sky. And sometimes it does happen on the autumn equinox, and sometimes it happens a few days earlier. And it was very well documented. Yeah, that's right. Nobody really knows where anything originated because it's a lot of this technology was worldwide. And a lot of sites are very ancient that date back to. I mean, there's one stone we call it's a 110-ton pink granite stone balanced on 7 limestone columns, and it's in the shape of the head of a mountain lion on one side. Beautiful stone. One astronomer that was studying the site, because he knew it had some astronomical significance, he actually somehow got on top of the boulder, found a star constellation mapped out that didn't match any known constellations that currently exist. He had, but since he was a professional astronomer, he had software that he could actually go back in time, and he actually found a constellation that matched the one that was depicted on top of the stone that dated 3200 BC. That's when it was visible in the night sky. And we've actually got another astronomical site. Not sure uh, when it was built, but it was dated back to, well, it depicted on the front of the stone. It depicted the constellation Pleiades, the seven sisters that were widely known by. I mean, that's one constellation that was the same in almost every culture. They were always called seven sisters, seven maids, something always very similar in almost every culture. And we found one of these stones down in Stamford, Connecticut. Perfect depiction of the Pleiades. And there were like I think there were like seven stones that were placed together, which was another indication of what it was. And in one of the stones, or between two of the stones, there was this perfect V-shaped notch. They were like saying, "Wait a minute." Yeah, we ran the computer simulations on it, and it was like, the Pleiades will come out from the notch at a certain time of the year as it rises in the sky. And my friend Ancient did all the research on that. So he got looking around, and he actually found a footstone. It was actually in the shape of a human foot. And if you stood exactly there, and that was exactly where the constellation would come out of at a certain time of the year from that notch. So he ran the simulations, everything. He said that's what the stone was for. But it's kind of hard to, and it happened at a time when a lot of trees weren't there. And these people, they came over. They were not only came over for the iron ore, they came over for the timber. They needed the wood to build a lot of their ships. A lot of the oak and other heavy woods were gone. Pine, I think. I mean, these areas were just heavily forested or deforested, really. They took as much wood, practically anything that they could get hold of, they took. Yeah, the marker stone where you had to stand to see the Pleiades rise out of the notch was, shaped like a human foot. It was perfect match. It was like, this is where you stand to see this. That was his first astronomical site he found. The second one was that Solar Observatory. Yeah, he was my friend Ancient. He was just walking around. He looked up near the top of a cliff. He saw this like triangle-shaped shadow in the side of the cliff, and he was like, "That's got to be some kind of cave." He went up there. Yep, perfect, almost perfectly triangle-shaped cave. And I think, yeah, I think on my Twitter page, I think there, yeah, mine and his, uh, actually, yeah, we actually have pictures of that site. But it almost looks like from the one side, it looks almost like a modern solar observatory. It's got that rounded shape, everything. Let's see. I think I'm going to go for another 15 minutes and probably going to have an early dinner or something. I think it's going to be pretty busy tonight with everybody else going live. But yeah, there's a couple cultures, seafaring cultures, we have not really been able to totally positively identify. I mean, there were cultures that existed up around Egypt at one time, and they just went down to ended up migrating down south. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think she did too. Oh well. Yep, she said she had to go to work at 1:30 her time, which would probably be about 2:30 my time, something like that. Oh well. Yeah, definitely this fall we are going to do doing a lot of archaeological work. There's one site that's huge. And we can tell it's going to be a big site just by how big appears to be in the satellite images. And as far as we know, we're the only ones that have documented really that are going to be investigating this site. I mean, the other organization we work with, they haven't been here. I think they found stuff in Groton, Connecticut, like 40, 50 miles away, and that's as far as they got. And we were furthest we got was probably 50 miles in the other direction, where we did most of our research. And nobody, I don't think anyone ever thought of looking in New Haven. So I think we are going to be the first ones to document these sites. There was one what we call a puzzle stone dolmen, which is kind of like a regular dolmen, like the big balanced stones, but it's kind of like on a pedestal, and it's what these people would do. They would actually take a stone, a huge 110, 120-ton stone, and break it into sections for some reason. We never figured out why. But they break it apart and they carefully put it back together. And we actually found one in New Haven. We're thinking that, well, there might be something inside the stone. They probably broke it apart, hollowed out the inside, and carefully placed everything back together. And it could be some kind of a burial. With this one site we found, it's not only a puzzle stone, but it seemed to be involved in one of this culture's burial ceremonies. There are probably burials nearby. Also, had some kind of solar or astronomical significance. So it's going to be pretty major once we totally document it. But the archaeologists that kind of studied the area, that did their own surveys, they kind of overlooked these stones. Yeah, they were just looking for the artifacts, the arrowheads, and other things. So they weren't really paying attention to the larger sites. They said, well, it's got to be glacial because, yeah, they're kind of huge. But, yeah, we know better. These people moved stones that weighed several tons. They actually, in Stamford, they actually took a small ridge of stone, broke it completely apart, and put it back together. And we call that the Puzzle Stone Ridge. And we really don't know why they did it, but they just could not leave things in a natural state. They had to modify everything. And they weren't happy unless they did that. And they were up here too, doing the same thing. It looks like. So we will be going to that site, documenting that, and the much larger site nearby that we saw on the satellite images. Luckily, it's only probably about 100 yards away. But the easiest way to get to the sites is to scale a 300-foot cliff. That's the quickest way to get to the sites. But luckily, there is a trail that goes up the side of the cliff. Supposedly well marked, and I know a few people have gone to the top using that trail. So we're going to go up that way. It's either that or walk or take the long way around, which would be the hike about 3 miles. Which will, that'll be a real intensive hike. Yeah, it's supposedly safe. There's nobody's complained about. Yeah, nobody's complained about it. It's one of the few trails that nobody's complained about. I've never heard of anyone falling off the cliff. Because once we get to the top of the cliff, it's only the first site is probably not even 100 yards away from it. Yeah, but why they established that colony there is kind of a mystery. But there was a river there is a river that goes from that cliff down to Long Island Sound, but we're not. Yeah, we don't know why they chose that one area to put that colony. Doesn't really make sense. So yeah, we're gonna have to try to figure out why they were there. Was it? I don't think there was really any iron ore deposits that we know of. There could have been. It might have just been like a base camp. Yeah, we really don't know why they were there. They had 3 colonies that we know of. They had the New Haven colony. Then 100 miles away, they had, in one direction, they had the Stamford Greenwich colony. And then up in the Hudson Valley, they had a 3rd colony. And, I mean, these sites are very similar, and they're over 100 miles apart. But technically, if you were to draw lines between all 3 of these sites, it would form a perfect triangle. And according to one researcher, there should be something in the middle, something very important in the middle of that triangle. A site that none of us has found yet. So we might have to check out that area too. But the New Haven colony, we got to investigate it. And we're the only ones, I think, only ones that are going to do it right now. Oh, okay, I don't want to talk to whoever that is. Well, it's kind of not really like a Bermuda Triangle. It's just the way they kind of laid out their grid work for exploring. They kind of like the triangle shape was kind of like sacred to them, so they kind of did everything in like a triangle shape, which was weird. They actually set up a triangle-shaped grid work over. When they surveyed areas, everything would be in the triangle. If you drew lines between their different colonies and their sacred sites, it would form a triangle. But nobody. We knew where the other 2 sites were. We didn't know where the 3rd site was. And now we know it's New Haven. Nobody even thought of looking up this way for that 3rd colony. So now we found it. Now we got to go explore it, investigate it, document it. And try to figure out why they chose New Haven. It is very weird. But it seems from what we found out from the state archaeologist is that it was a site of very long habitation. They're not sure how early, but it was before anyone had bows and arrows, which puts it pretty far back in history. They used quartz for spear points and arrowheads, or not arrowheads, but the type of dart they used. And we found, I mean, everything is like matching up to our research. Perfect. And we found the same type of work with quartz in the other two sites. Yeah, they used quartz, they moved heavy stones, they pretty much did everything. Even certain sites were identical or nearly identical. So this third site is going to be incredible. Well, anyway, yeah, it's been about 3 hours, so I'm going to end the stream right now. Thanks for everyone that stopped in. And I'll probably do another stream later. I don't know when. But we just... Okay, just gonna end this stream right now. Talk to everybody later. Oh, MCAT. Yeah, I was just gonna end. Yeah, I've been on for like 3 hours. Yeah, what's up, MCAT? Yeah, I've been on for like 3 hours now, and yeah, I'm starting to lose my voice again, which happens. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll talk to everybody later. I don't know when I'm going to do another stream. Yeah, I just felt like coming on today for a little bit. Yeah, a little bit turned out to be 3 hours. Well, anyway, I'll catch you all later.